are few things, brands, or people in the world of streetwear culture that has as much of a household name as a bathing ape. No Rise and Fall series video that we've done has gotten as many comments from fans proclaiming that the brand is in fact not dead as Bape did. And perhaps one of their most popular products has been the Bapesta sneaker, or at least in the past. But over the years, the big question has been, how in the hell does Bape avoid being sued by Nike for obviously ripping them off? Nike is notoriously litigious when it comes to anyone who so much as even sniffs one of their silhouettes. Whether it's Warren Lotous, MISCHF, Nike has kept their lawyers busy protecting their designs. So why does Bape get a pass? Well, in today's video, we'll go into a brief history of Bape and the Bapesta sneaker and explain why Nike won't be suing Bape anytime soon. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to help us to continue to grow as a channel, and as I always say, we can't do it without you guys' help. But with that being said, let's get into it. Founded by the legendary Nigo, not Nigo, yes, I know, it's Nigo, in 1993, it's a brand that's been at the forefront of cool for almost 30 years at this point. It would be a good argument to make to say that Bape is in the lexicon of street culture. They've survived ups, downs, trends, and even a sale by Hong Kong's Mammoth IT Group in 2011. However, an important moment in Bape history occurred back in 2007 when Soulja Boy, alongside his right-hand man A-Rab, made a song that immortalized Bape's signature sneaker, the Bapesta, with the iconic line,
"I got me some bathing ape."
The song is basically a 4.5-minute time capsule back into the ringtone rap era. The beat is simple but fun, the chorus is catchy, the lyrics are mindless, and the dance moves and outfits showcased in the video are hilarious by today's standards. Bape is even more popular now than they were back then, which is a true testament to their staying power. But there are certainly a lot of differences between then and now for the brand. First and foremost, it's more about the clothes now than it is the sneakers. Back in 2007, everybody loved the shark hoodies, but Bape footwear, the Bapestas, Roasters, Skullsters, and all of the others, were by far the most popular inventory. Bape sneakers, mostly fake, were everywhere you looked and were the cool guy statement in hip hop at the time. Secondly, the fits are different. Back in 2007, if you were rocking Bape, it was definitely oversized. Your camo hoodie that was 3 sizes too big had to match perfectly with your kicks, which were mostly covered up by your giant straight leg pants. Nowadays, you kind of want your Bape to fit a bit more fitted than that, even though some brands are trying to bring back the baggy look. And on a side note, as someone who lived through that era, please don't, because it got super out of hand with the baggy stuff back then, and I would hate to see that make a comeback. It's kind of like people from the 70s wanting you to bring back bell bottoms and shirts with them big long wing looking ass collars. Just leave that alone, please. Bape is a lot more well known now, but back then it was mainly for Japanese fashion nerds, because believe it or not, for all the younger viewers out there, it wasn't always cool to be obsessed with Japanese clothing. And although average Joes might recognize it, it wasn't an instant head turner the way it is today. It's grown up and blew up and expanded to levels never previously reached. And I'm pretty sure that Soulja Boy and A-Rab never imagined something like this would happen when they were dancing around in parking lots and rapping about their fresh new, reportedly fake, sneakers. The Bapesta was first introduced in the early 2000s, 2002 to be exact, and you'll definitely want to stick around to see why that date is so important. And it's a near one-of-one replica of Nike's iconic Air Force One, which was released in 1982. The differences are subtle, but important. A lightning star replaced the swoosh, while the words ape or bape replaced the air that typically appear on the Air Force One's midsole. Most important was the fact that the Bapesta was constructed of patent leather, giving the pair a distinctive sheen that the forces didn't have at the time. Besides that though, the shoes are basically the same. But rather than being demonized or mocked, the Bapesta was celebrated. It's a representative of the subversive nature of streetwear's birth. Bape has collabed with tons of people over the years through the Bapesta. Since way back in 2005 with the Bape by Cause drop, and then followed by the Nerd drop in 2006. There was also a Kanye West collab in 2007 before Kanye was Kanye, the SpongeBob drop in 2008, and tons of others. When we look at the history of some of the Bapesta drops from back in the day, it's clear to see that they were willing to play more with the adventurous colorways, and Nike didn't really do that at the time. And in my opinion, this helped build popularity and favoritism from sneaker fans. So much so that they forced Big Nike to jazz it up a bit and even start releasing patent leather Air Force Ones. So back to the reason for you actually clicking this video. Why has Nike never sued Bape? It was rumored that Nike secretly owned a portion of Bape. Legend has it that Nigo was approached by Nike with a deal that he couldn't turn down. Either get sued or partner with us in a backroom deal that cuts us in on your profits. And as interesting as that sounds, it's actually not true. Perhaps the biggest proof of this is the fact that Bape has done collabs with Adidas, and no way Adidas would do business with Bape giving them money if they were in bed with Nike. So as sexy as a backroom deal between Nigo and Nike sounds, the real reason really isn't all that flashy. Turns out, it all comes down to a loophole in US patent law. You see, patent laws in the US only protect for 20 years. And since the Air Force One was originally released in 1982, that meant by Bape releasing the Bapesta in 2002, they had perfect timing on catching it when the force fields were down, if you will. And Japanese patent law has similar statutes as we do. So it's almost as if Bape knew this and timed it just right so as to catch the sweet spot. I mean, yeah, they had to change the logo, but ultimately they were free to copy the silhouette. And now you may be wondering, how is it that Bape gets a pass while Nike went out of their way to sue guys like Warren Lotous and Ari Foreman? And in Lotus's case, they went after his neck. They wanted him to send them business cards and advertisements and tags and packaging and everything else that he had that was related to the shoes that he did that they claimed were infringing on their product. And honestly, while doing research for this video and searching for an answer, I really couldn't find a concrete answer. I mean, maybe it has something to do with the fact that Bape clearly changed the logo, whereas Lotus and Foreman used logos that looked a lot more like the swoosh. Or maybe it has something to do with the fact that Lotus used colorways that Nike had previously used. Or hell, maybe Nike really is in bed with Bape. I mean, I don't really think so, but what else could be the reason? Bape reportedly got away with it by just beating the patent window and finding a loophole. But if that's the case, then why didn't Lotus benefit from this same loophole? The patent on Air Force Ones reportedly went stale in 2002, just as the 20-year window was closing. But Dunks were made in 1985, so that would mean when Lotus came out with his, this was well after 20 years. To be honest, I tried as hard as I could, and I really couldn't find a solid answer on why Bape was able to get away with it, but Warren Lotous and other guys aren't. I mean, as I understand it, once the patent is up, it can't be renewed. And in the case of Nike, they made a big deal about the whole sole design of the Dunk. But if the patent was up, why does that even matter? So as much as I wanted to find a concrete answer for you guys, and as hard as I tried, I couldn't find one. But maybe you guys can help me out. Hit us up in the comment section and let me know if you have more info on why Warren got sued, but Bape gets a pass. Also, if you haven't by now, then don't forget to smash that like button. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to help us grow to be one of the biggest channels on YouTube, which is our goal. And the best part about a few is it's totally free and it costs you nothing. And if you want to be updated every time we drop a new video just like this one, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell. This way you will be dinged whenever a new episode drops. But with that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.